Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's Chris here, and this is the Chris Willow Show. I'm a singer-songwriter and musician based in London, and I started this show to give me a cool way of sharing my music as well as having interesting conversations with other musicians or creators or anyone really who I want to have a conversation with. So it's been so cool so far and really cool so far. Not so cool so far. It's too many S's. And thank you for tuning in last time to catch up with Carol. And tonight we have somebody very special. We have a friend of mine, Anna van der Merwe, who's a wonderful violin player. But before we get started, I just wanted to say, if you are enjoying the show and the music that I make, please do follow me on Spotify, and you can also buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Chris Willow. I'll put both of the links in the description of this video or wherever you find this. But I'd really appreciate that. So if you like the show and want to keep it going, that's the best way that you can help me out. And yeah, here we go. I'm going to get Anna on the show. Anna, are you here?
I'm here. Hello.
Anna, banana, Anna.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's happening.
So, Anna, who are you? And what are you doing here?
That's a good question. But no, so I am a very old friend of Chris's, and we've known each other for quite a long time now, actually. Very long time. And spent some time actually living in the same flat kind of together in Cape Town. For some time watching lots of Futurama and getting up to nonsense. But yeah, basically now I've moved away from Cape Town and I'm living in Germany, working in a really, really amazing orchestra here. And yeah, that's about it.
I thought about that the other day, by the way, with me living at your living
in Woodlands,
because I never asked, can I move in? Amy was away and I moved in.
And bit by bit there was Chris more and more and then it was
yeah. But so where are you based? Did you say that? No, you didn't say that.
No, not yet. So yeah, I'm basically I spent 2 years before this in doing like a kind of an academy, orchestra academy. It's like a practical internship basically. And that was in Bamberg, in a kind of smaller city town in Bavaria region, which is it's a little bit more green and countryside kind of thing. And now, since only a couple of months ago, I moved to Cologne. So, yeah, really, really interesting city, and that's where I am now.
And you're being very humble, of course. But the big news is that you've recently got the musical equivalent of tenure or whatever.
Yes, well, almost.
almost. Sorry.
Basically, I'm like, I'm spending a year.
Do I have to edit that out, or is it acceptable? My fault.
But yeah, basically, no, it's a dream job. Like, it wasn't by no means like an easy road to get here, but it was worth it. And yeah, so now basically I just have a permanent job in a really, really interesting and open-minded orchestra as well, which is a huge bonus, apart from the fact that it's anyway a dream job. It's just the main, like the artistic direction and the conductor and all the other musicians are so interesting, and it's like very multicultural. Even though it's in Germany, I'd say the orchestra is mostly like made up of people from everywhere: Australia, States, England, Spain, Italy. It's really, just a very, very interesting kind of melting pot of.
And what makes an orchestra open-minded? Do they play different material from your standard orchestra?
Yes. So the programming is really, I think they're quite open to unusual programming. So it's not just the standard classical repertoire that you will hear from a lot of German orchestras. It seems to be much more unusual programs. So a lot of contemporary music, a lot of just really interesting ways of putting the programs together and doing some unusual things, which is very cool.
Sorry, I was trying to freak you out, thinking maybe there's an error. That is, I mean, I think I've been telling people about this because we're all very proud of you and happy for you, because it's not an easy thing, you know, and especially there's a whole other component, which a lot of people in the UK had never thought about pre-Brexit, which is the concept of needing visas and things like that to be in Europe, you know, and if you've got this job, it means your pathway to staying in Germany, which is the place you want to be, is clear.
Yeah, it's like freedom that comes with it, you know. Also, just it's nice to have that feeling of not having to worry about visa running out like every couple of months,
and also you got this job at a very strange time.
Very weird.
With this coronavirus, you'd think orchestras are out of business or not looking to expand, or, you know, what's the story there?
Well, a lot of them, exactly, that is the thing. I mean, Germany, thank goodness, we are so lucky as musicians to be here right now because of the government support. And I mean, it's just such a big part of the economy and culture. Like the cultural sector is really, really big and well supported. So the orchestras are okay, but even here, they're not really, like, a lot of auditions have been cancelled. Most of them have been cancelled. Also just because they're not allowed to hold them because it's too many people in one place and stuff. So, yeah, obviously, you know, things have slowed down and there hasn't been need to take on many new people.
But how did you break through?
Well, basically, there was this gap kind of in like September, October, when the lockdowns were eased a little bit. And then a few auditions like got posted online again, and I knew that I really wanted this specific job. And I tried for it once or twice before. And then I saw it again and I prepped like crazy for it. And then it came. And then there was it was like, I keep thinking about it as this like small crack of an opening in a door that I kind of slipped through somehow. And then then the lockdown things came again, and it was just
amazing.
It was luck. It was a lot of prep, but it was also luck. So,
it's just also such a relief, because what's difficult in the first place would have become almost impossible. If it's hard to get in an orchestra and then get your visa sorted and all that, and if now you can't even get an orchestra for no fault of your own, but you managed to do it.
It's crazy, and it's also like I'm very aware of how much of it is also just was luck. And I know so many people that are in really tough situation right now with auditions, and there was a lot of friends of mine were in the same position of this was their moment or period of doing auditions, and then everything is cancelled. So it's like,
people have to go in idle for like 2 years. Wait around, but and like, what do you do? I mean, because you've got this job, but are you rehearsing? Are you doing anything?
Actually, yes. So luckily enough, I mean, the orchestra, I think quite a few orchestras in Germany are still playing, but we're doing live streams. We are doing pre-recorded streams that are released at a later date. And we're also doing some kind of workshops and things, which is very cool at the moment. So
that's great.
I think they're trying to keep people a little bit active and playing. Otherwise, kind of the group sound and things can, if you stop playing, it's actually also can be bad for orchestras, I think, in terms of the sort of, like the sound and feeling of playing together, because you do lose contact with that a little bit after such a long time of not playing.
You know what? Playing in orchestra is such fun. I mean, I played at school. But it's just so much messing around, so much. It's the musical, it's the classical music, and I'm not in a classical musical world anymore. You know, I never really was professionally. I just at school, but it's the classical music world equivalent of being in a sports team or something, where it's just
totally
maximum vibes. Yes, yeah, just a lot of good times, and like because both my parents played in orchestras, and my dad particularly, and like the percentage of funny stories and good memories that are orchestra related is high.
That's really, it's an amazing thing. I think also socially, like I wouldn't say I'm definitely not an extroverted person, but I really enjoy the social aspect of it, and also the challenge of the communicating non-verbally with this group of people. It's really interesting, the kind of dynamics that take place and communication, and like especially in live concerts, I think that's where the real fun happens as well. There's those moments of like slight unpredictability, and that's the really like the good bits. I'm looking forward to that again, being able to like have an audience there, and that kind of interplay and energy between. Yeah, that's going to be nice.
And do you have something coming up that we can all watch?
I do.
We'll put it in the description, everybody, in the show notes.
Yes.
What is it?
So we've been, up until last night, we've been recording, filming and recording a really, really nice program. One is a contemporary piece that I'm not playing. It's a different setting of people. And that's the first half of the program, I think. And it was a piece written last year by a contemporary composer. And then we're also playing Brahms' Piano Concerto No. 1 with an amazing pianist. And it's so beautiful. And that's being streamed on the 3rd of February, I think, at 8:15 Germany time. So, yeah.
It's 8:15 Germany time, 8:14, or what? So on time, it's early. But well, we look forward to it. I want to see you play. The last time I saw you in person, by the way, I think was when you played with Joshua Bell at the Proms in that orchestra.
That's true. That wasn't me. That was amazing. Yeah,
which is a pretty big deal. I'm just flying to England to play with Joshua Bell on the Proms.
That was amazing. Wow.
I think my mom and Amy went to that gig.
They were. I saw them at the top.
Okay. Waving flags. Go Anna. Go Anna.
Yes.
I don't know if the Proms, I think the Proms happened last year.
It did. I think it happened, but it was like weird. It was online, and like the empty Royal Albert Hall.
What a strange time. But I wanted to show you something, by the way.
Oh, it's exciting. Oh, what?
This is called a guitar lute. And so
that's amazing.
I'd never seen one before, but essentially it's a guitar in a lute's body.
It's so cool. I feel like I need to hear some sounds out of it.
I can try. I've struggled to get it in tune because we're also like when it arrived, I think that maybe it should have lighter strings on because it's short. But I quickly tuned it down like loads because to lower the tension, because I thought this poor guy is going to have the neck fall off because it's like 100 years old or more. So I think it's 1920s Germany. And
it's so beautiful.
But it's like it was a bit of, I don't know if it's like a novelty. I think it's a novelty thing for the time. So basically, as far as I understand it, from the people who I've sent pictures to and they've got back to me, it seems to be that like whenever that was, I think 1920s, this particular one, it was in Germany. The guitarists were playing old castle music, Renaissance folk, and wanted to appear more authentic. So they wanted a guitar that they could play with all their guitar skills that looked like a lute. But I don't. Let me see if you can. Hang on.
Cool. It's really beautiful.
Let's see if you can hear this. Can you hear?
Yes.
Hey.
Amazing.
So check this out. So I've tuned the bottom string down to C, which is great, C, but like the whole thing is down. This is like in Z at the moment.
Sounds very cool.
But so I'll just mess around quickly, and you can hear the.
Amazing.
So nice, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's got a really nice, like warm sound. It's like guitar. I mean, kind of guitar-like, but with a. It's very soft. It's got a really nice sound.
I think it's like boxy almost. It's like because the sound hole's so small. But anyway, that was just a piece I've been working on anyway.
Amazing.
But
I love it. I feel like it suits you. It's very crisp.
The thing is that like if I turn up to a gig or something, like I'll be that guy. It's like, oh, you know what I mean?
It sets a kind of tone.
Could have just brought a guitar, bro. Anyway, happy Burns night, everybody. That was last night. Scottish Robert Burns. The Bard.
I thought you were going to say birthday.
No, the Barnes of what's it? The Bard of Scotland.
Oh, the Bard, yes.
But yeah. Anyway, do you know what my favorite thing that you used to do at Woodlands was? Which I've so Anna was an absolute legend. She is a legend, but where she at this flat where she used to live. Is this true? I think it's true that you would hide in the shower with your violin.
That's been known to happen.
Oh my goodness! And then if somebody goes into the toilet, you shock them with, "Can you play the sound?"
Things have happened in this. Such things have
Do you have
happened.
your violin there or not?
I do.
Can you do it? I want you.
But now, my neighbors are gonna. I think they're gonna wonder what's going on.
So basically, picture this. So Anna is hiding in the shower behind the shower curtain. We can't quite see you there, but you're gonna have to lean a bit. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, and you go in for a wee. Ding 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 ding. So I open the door and then.
Yes, beautiful.
Oh, that hurts.
That was a flat of many pranks. So a lot of pranks happened in that flat. a lot of pranks.
Oh my goodness, that's the best prank ever.
It's horrible actually, because you're just trying to think you're alone, and you're in a very vulnerable moment of like having your pants. You're trying to.
Yes. So good.
But what I wanted to, can I ask a question also?
Yeah. This is free. This is free. I'm not. This is not an interview. It's a conversation. So.
Because what I wanted to actually ask was with your Chris Willow stuff. I only listened to it really properly like a week ago when you sent me the Spotify or the SoundCloud. I don't know the links for it.
Yeah.
Why? What made you change from the Chris Cape? Kind of not persona, but the style, because it's very different.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a long.
That's a deep question. I think that the Cape stuff, Cape was like such a persona, and I would write music for him. You know what I mean? It was like a high school, not a high school. What's it? A university, college kind of in joke, which was perfect at the time because it was so fun and it gave us all something to do. But also, I just didn't have. So that's the reason I kind of took a break from that whole thing. But the reason the genre is so different is that this is the stuff that I was doing essentially originally, writing songs on my guitar and singing them. That was my natural thing that I did when I was very young. Not very young, but like 15 or something. When I got into writing music and songs.
Yeah, that was your sort of natural mode.
But I didn't really have, my skills were not in the vocal department. So people told me, you know what I mean? It wasn't one of those things where it's just me saying it. I'm like, I'm not a great singer. People are like, bro, you're not a great singer. So I started doing this kind of talky thing. It was like talk rock. And so I had skills on the guitar and everyone recognized that more immediately. So I kind of aimed it at that, and then it grew into what it became. But like 10 years down the line, I was like, do you know what? Maybe I can do the stuff that I was doing, not the same stuff, but essentially sing like that again. And I found the confidence essentially to do it. And also that style, the style, of just stripped back acoustic guitar and voice was kind of the best palette to use for that lyrical material, because it's quite intense and it's quite introspective and stuff. So I just felt like I needed to strip away all the production and pretense. I said production. It's a combination, not not that pretense and production is bad. I mean, it's part of art.
No,
it's
but
part.
It's like, it kind of, you want to do justice to the thing, but maybe like sometimes simplifying. I mean, like many things, like simplifying it is often like less, it is more, etc.
But I also felt like I got frustrated because I was doing this stuff that was very much authentic at one point for me, but it was maybe less authentic at least in the way I was doing it. But I felt trapped that I was writing for this project, and like now I just want to be completely free from all that. And it doesn't mean I can't do Cape stuff, but then it's like if I go and do that, I will know that I'm doing that, but I can still retreat back to the safe place of me.
Exactly.
Options. Yeah, options. But like where I'm centered around the most childlike version of myself. I think that's what I'm trying to follow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. Like I really, I listened to all of it and I think it's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I would never say that you have issues with the voice. I mean, it's really, I think it's beautiful. Amazing.
Thank you. I think I developed my voice a lot by doing, because like you're in a classical idiom and like I've never really done that, outside of the basic grades at school and stuff. But so I'm always used to having a microphone, and I started doing these gigs where it was like gigs in a room. This company, So Far Sounds, used to do a lot of them. I'm sure they will again. after this pandemic. But essentially, I was doing gigs where there is no sound system and no microphone or anything.
Yeah.
But I started doing them with like percussionists, bass players, electric guitar, just with amps and no microphone. so I just had to learn to sing. Like, and I think that singing loudly is like when you're shy, you don't want to do that. So you never learn to project. But it was kind of getting over that fear. And
but it's hard. It's hard, I think.
So that helped me a lot. But it's I want to encourage anyone who's if you're not good at something, it doesn't mean that you can't get better at it, you know. And now I feel confident doing it. It's fine, you know.
It's amazing. I would like to learn to sing. Actually, I think I'm very shy with my voice. I don't know. I don't speak very loudly as well. I think it's something that I need to I would like to.
I've become one of these, like an advocate for singing. Like I think that everyone basically has to sing. Like I think it's weird that you would now, my new dogma would say, not that I have much, but would be like if somebody learns an instrument, they like, why don't they sing as well? Because you already have that instrument. You don't have to buy anything. And also your instrument, because your body is unique. I can buy a guitar similar to somebody else's guitar. I can borrow their guitar, whatever it is, but I can't. This is I will be the only person who sounds like me, and you'll be the only person who sounds like you.
Yep.
But that's what's scary about it is, but people won't like that, you know. But,
it's so you that it's like you also have to it's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror, hearing your own voice is quite an intense thing, I think.
I know.
Maybe.
But
yeah.
The other thing I know about Anna is that she thinks about aliens a lot. You once told me that you think about aliens every day, at least once or later.
It still happens. Sometimes it's like, I don't know where that even started. It's just, I think maybe, like, I've always had a bit of I wouldn't say obsession, but like a kind of fascination with space and space travel and like the mysteries of the unknown, I suppose, maybe. I think that's a big attraction about it is it's like anything it's the unknown. It's everything that's out there that we just like, you know, it's so what's the word for that? Like you wanna know, because the more the less you know, the more it's like.
Do you have a vision of them like arriving or something like that?
No, I think not so much anymore. Like as I think this also kind of stemmed from when I was really young, and I had a massive fear of aliens, and I don't know why. Maybe it came from watching. I think it was like instigated by watching the film Signs. Do you remember that film?
I don't know that I do know that. Yeah, I know the film, but I don't know the plot that well. But I remember Bruce Willis, M. Night.
That's what something off. Like, and then I went through this phase of like finding it really terrifying to look out of the window into the night sky, because I was so scared that if I looked out for too long, I would see something that like I didn't really want to see. And that's when the kind of fascination started, I think. But now I've just been reading so much about like quantum physics and a little bit about astronomy. And I think it's more a case of like, basically the thing of our brains not necessarily being able to understand quite in the same sense of like that allegory that's often used in that like a small ant or some kind of bug or insect doesn't really understand what humans are doing, and maybe they don't really know what we are. And it's possible that there are other like life forms out there that we can't really see them or understand it properly, because we just kind of here and there kind of.
I do think like, you know, David Bowie's song "Is There Life on Mars?" I do think like if like it would be amazing. That would be like that would just be one of the most exciting things. And I think because maybe our generation, we've got better telescopes, we've got better stuff. I think a lot of people are desperate for not desperate, but it's like the subconscious, like that would be a news story. Just imagine. It's like, turns out they're aliens.
And in the same way, like that people were, I think we also like, we kind of ran out of things to, we kind of ran out of things to explore. We were used to, when we just had ships and no electricity and people were exploring like undiscovered parts of, new continents and stuff. And that age of exploration is kind of like, we've kind of seen everything, almost everything that there is to see, and we've discovered and like probed so many things, and we know what's going on the whole earth. And now it's like, what's next?
See, for me, like, because as I say, I don't think that much about horizontal. I think a little bit about, but I think more vertical. So like I have those trips when I just sit here and I'm like, what is this? What is between, what is inside this microphone? You know what I mean? Like that's, I guess that's the kind of the idea of like an animating spirit almost, like what is life essentially? Like what is this?
What's the essence?
The essence. Whew, I love it so much. But yeah. So as I say, it's not something I follow, or I don't have strong views either way. But flip, it would be cool.
It would be very cool. Maybe Tatooine is actually out there.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Turns out George Lucas plagiarized the whole thing. He just had a powerful enough telescope. He just put some film at the end of the telescope. Keep going. Oh, man. But speaking of Star Wars, you watched Force Awakens in German, I remember.
That was one of the weirdest.
German Han Solo.
It was, but the weirdest was, so when I watched this film, it was like when I just arrived in Austria and I was doing my master's in Graz in Austria. And then I went to the cinema with my flatmate at that time, and I didn't know that English films were dubbed. And there I sat, and Star Wars started, and you're expecting Yoda's voice to be like, it was so weird. It was horrible.
Oh well. I remember getting a voice note from you. It's like I can't remember what it was. Like maybe I didn't catch everything, but or I don't know.
Like a little bit, but it was the weirdest thing. Like hearing German coming out of Yoda's mouth was not. And since that day, I've never been back to the German cinema.
Can you speak German now, by the way?
Yes, I can. And it still kind of freaks me out. Like when I really think about it and I hear myself speaking fluently, it's kind of a little bit of an out-of-body experience. It's really weird. Like you learn this language and you don't really realize that you become fairly fluent in it. And it kind of sometimes catches me by surprise a little bit. But yes, I have to speak it at work and in daily life.
Do you always think in English and then convert, or is that stopped a bit?
That stopped actually.
Wow.
It's kind of now it's become really automatic, even though it's not by no means perfect. And like grammatically, I don't want to know what's coming out of my mouth to native speakers, but it's there.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
I'm unfortunately monolingual. I just speak English, but I've got really into it. Like I love English. I love language, but I don't know. I've got a friend who's like a language master. He moved to, I think he speaks French, he speaks Xhosa, he speaks English, and he moved to Korea to teach English, and now he's like 100% fluent in Korean.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But some people are able to pick up, like, apparently once you pick up more languages, it gets easier and easier.
That's what they say. It's like that with music, though. Like, I feel like I can kind of blag my way on an instrument if I have never played it and have some sense of it because of playing other instruments, but
Yeah.
you know.
Weird. And also, what like just total change of topic, like, yeah, but what do you like? I know that the lockdown there, and somehow I feel like we've managed to not talk about Corona for most of this, which is pretty impressive. But what are your plans? Like, I know the lockdown there is like quite similar to ours. It's quite a hard lockdown right now. What does your day look like? What are you doing at the moment? And what is coming up in
I put on pants for this interview. Or this conversation. Like I was like I was like but you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in my pajamas and then it's like top half like this is smart, you know, but I've got I changed out of my track pants, but yeah, no, it's okay. But just grateful to be fine, and you know,
that's the thing. That is the thing.
at least you know I've got a significant other here, and you know, if you're completely isolated, it's terrible.
Yeah, I think that's a different story. Like, we don't know that side of this thing. Like, most of us are like really lucky in that we've all had a pretty easy experience of this time. Like, the most has been like discomfort, a little bit of discomfort, like from having a change of, you know, having everything almost too easy. So that's also the thing.
Yeah, so I've been like trying to impose quite strict wake up times and stuff on myself. So
Our routine is big help.
It's like, what's today? I literally had to look now, you know, because it's just one long Groundhog Day. But the real thing, as I say, the gratitude that comes from not everyone has the same Groundhog Day. You know what I mean? And my Groundhog Day, sure, lost all my work, you know, financially difficult, but like it could be so much worse.
Yeah, and it'll come back. It's going to come back.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, well, we can leave it there. But what else should we know about you, like in terms of things that are coming up that we can check out?
Well, for now, basically just this live stream. We're kind of taking everything, seems to be like very spontaneous planning of the orchestra at the moment. So for now, it's just the live stream on the 3rd of Feb. And then the next stuff that's coming up is usually just on the orchestra's website. And yeah, I guess we'll find out soon, but I don't know.
Could you just say the orchestra's name for us?
It's Guitarist Orchestra of Cologne.
Of Cologne, okay. Well, we'll put the links in the show notes, everybody, so you can have a look. I'll be checking out as well. I haven't seen you play in a long time, and in this orchestra. So, and are the live streams? Do you have to buy tickets?
So you can buy tickets, but I think you can put in at any price from like €1 to €350 or something. So it's, I think, or it's free. It's either free or that system. I'm not sure for this one.
Okay.
Could be that it's just free, I think. So you just like, check out the website, click on the link, and then
great.
Should be able to watch it.
Well, I will check it out. And feel free to remind me and send me those links, and I'll put them in the thing. But Anna, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Let's go check. What I've got, just checking if I left out anything. But it's been great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Anna thought that this Tutankhamun was what?
I thought it was an armadillo. I still think I still feel like it's an armadillo, but
don't look too closely. Aliens. But it'll start to morph the more you look at it. I'm not seeing an armadillo, but I'm not sure how I should be looking at it.
My brain. Maybe this is my brain.
Yeah. But Anna, you are an amazing violinist, and next level amazing. And we are all very excited for you too, that you got this job. And when things open up, maybe we'll come and watch you in Cologne.
We'll find a way.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. And Anna, thank you. And bye to everybody who's been watching. You guys are great. Bye.